On my last rehab project, I had to raise another $40,000 just to finish the rehab. And I don't want anybody else to go through what I went through. It was the type of hard money lender that I was working with. And I actually had 2 deals, and I was going to work with this hard money lender on both deals. But it was going so insanely terrible on the first deal that in the middle of escrow, as we were going to close on this second deal, I kicked them out and I found another hard money lender. These are my first 2 deals that I had ever done. In this video, I'm going to share the 8 questions you need to be asking your hard money lenders before working with any hard money lender so that you don't have to make the same mistakes that I've made. My name is Fernando, and I've been an investor for the past 2-ish years with my wife and our 19-month-old daughter. Do me a favor, and if you are getting value from this video, please hit the subscribe and like button, as that will encourage me to make more videos like this so that you guys don't have to go through the pain and suffering that I've gone through. Let's get into it. So in this video, I'm going to share the 8 questions you need to ask a hard money lender before doing business with any of them. But I do have a list of 17 questions that you should be asking. If you stick around to the end of this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can get that so that you have a framework on how to interview your hard money lenders moving forward. Let's start with question number 1. So question number 1, this is if you are an out-of-state investor, maybe you start to shop around for different hard money lender deals out there. You want to know, like, what states do you operate in and what states don't you operate in? You want to see if they already have experience in those states, like how many deals they might have done in those states. Just go ahead and ask around, like, geographically, like, are they set up to help you, in that state so they can close quickly? Okay, question number 2. Talk about the ARV. And every time a hard money lender works with you, they are going to project like the possible after repair value that the property can be based off of the scope of work that you give them. So you give them a scope of work and you just say, hey, what's the max of the projected ARV that you would even loan against? And some of them will say 70%. I always try to go for the ones that say 75%. Sometimes, things get really tight with numbers. And so you just want that additional layer of flexibility just to know that, a deal's not going to go south. You're just a little bit more protected. So the next one here is talk about credit scores and interest rates. What are the interest rates that can get you? What credit scores do you need to get certain interest rates? This is going to change for everyone, right? If you have a 740 or over, most of the time you're gonna get the best interest rates then. Over 700, you're still good with interest rates. Once you start getting under 700, interest rates are gonna change. So I could tell you, yeah, I got this great hard money lender and I have this amazing interest rate. But if you're sitting at a 600 credit score, you may not even qualify, or you're just gonna be paying substantially more for the money because they see you as a higher risk. So asking that up front is gonna help you find which lenders are more friendly with you based off of the credit score that you have. Okay, this one's a big one. So there are hard money lenders. The way they do business is different. This is one of the big questions I ask so that you can understand how they do business. And that is, if you are required to put up a percentage of rehab, let's say whatever, 20% of rehab that you have to put up, is that money required to go into escrow? And then are you going to have to pay the contractor first in order to even pull out your own funds? It's a situation that I actually was caught up in. I had to put $40,000 into escrow. I thought I'd be able to pull it so I could pay my contractors. Then they end up telling me like, hey, Fernando, you need to pay your contractor first before we'll even let you touch your own money. It's a terrible, terrible situation to be in. I don't want anybody else to be in that situation. So ask that question, okay? Do you need to send your rehab funds into escrow, or do you just need to show proof of funds? And so if you just need to show proof of funds, that's good. You just show them your bank statement and show them that you actually have the money in there, but they're not actually going to force you to put that into escrow so that you run into the issues that I've run into. This is the part that's just like the transparency. When you're dealing with money, you're dealing with all these types of institutions, especially when you're new. A lot of this stuff does sometimes you don't know what you don't know. And this is a situation I found myself in. I went to one hard money lender. It seemed like he was a nice guy and explaining all this stuff to me. But there was just no transparency, but I didn't realize that until the very end, where I thought, running my numbers up front, that everything he was telling me verbally, I was like, okay, I put this into my sheet. We go to the closing table and they say, hey, we need like another $35,000, $40,000 for you to even close this deal. And here's why. Threw me like crazy, like out of the water. It was just a terrible experience. Actually, the last like hour of closing, they call me and say, Fernando, we need another $6,000. At that point, I felt like I had a gun to my head because there was just never any transparency and they were just always trying to ask for more money. I don't know if I got swindled or whatever the situation was. It took it as a learning experience, and that's why I'm sharing this with you guys so you don't have to go through it. But asking up front, what are the points? Do you provide a term sheet before we even get into escrow if for any deals that I want you guys to come on? I think that level of transparency, which I didn't realize was even an option, asking them, hey, can you provide a term sheet so I'm not caught off guard at closing as to how much I'm going to need to bring to the table? And then the people who say, no, we can't provide that, keep interviewing more hard money lenders. Okay. The ones that are going to say, yeah, let me show you what you're going to have to bring to the table based off of the numbers, and they put it in paper for you. That means they actually have their underwriting team looked at ahead of time. They're analyzing that deal alongside with you, and you can actually know and feel confident what kind of money you're going to need to bring to the closing table, so you don't get caught with your pantalones down. Yeah, this is a weird one, but you can't use always one hard money lender for every project, because depending on the project size, depending where you're doing your deals, you're going to have minimum loan amounts. And so you want to ask your hard money lender before you find the perfect hard money lender. You go and grab the deals and you bring it to them, and then they tell you like, hey, our minimum loan amount is $200,000, right? Now you can't do a deal in Pennsylvania or certain parts of Atlanta because property values are $100,000, right? So you don't qualify there. But there are hard money lenders out there who will give you a $50,000 loan, and that helps you buy your $100,000 property or whatever the situation is. Then we get into the next one, which is in terms of seasoned funds. Different hard money lenders or just lenders in general are going to have different requirements. This is a question you should ask every lender, because if you are raising capital and you are getting to that next level as a real estate investor, then the question that's going to come up is, how long has that money been in your account? So let's say you go and do a deal and you call your parents or whoever, your friends, hey man, can you loan me 50 grand? Yeah, dude, for sure. I'll wire it to you right now. And you get it wired. You think you're good. You go to close, you're in escrow. Lender says, show me your statements. You got the funds a day ago. That's not going to fly. And you may not get funded. You may lose your EMD. You may fall out of the deal. So a lot of issues could arise there. There are solutions. If you ever find yourself in that situation, what I would do is create an LLC or bring them onto title. So whoever funded you, bring them into title. So you're both part of the deal. Put them into your LLC, get into the deal, remove them off title, remove them from your LLC. But that would be the solution in that case. But you need to know, is it 60-day season funds, 90-day, 30-day, 2 weeks? Where can the season funds come from? Can it come from a brokerage account? Can it come from crypto? Can it come from another HELOC? So just knowing knowing that is really good. So again, this is all to protect you guys so that you don't find yourself in a situation where you're losing your earnest money deposit. And the last one, which is pretty simple. Do you require an appraisal contingency so that you can get into your deal? All right, like if you're buying a deal and you're analyzing in a certain way, the last thing you want is, and it's whatever type of deal it is, it's a beat up home. The last thing you want is your lender requires an appraisal and they have a contingency that if it doesn't appraise, then they're not going to fund the deal, or you're going to have to put up a lot more money to fund the deal. So just ask that question up front, and so that you either, if they do require the appraisal contingency, just realize that you may miss out on a lot more deals because there's a lot of other people that are possibly, putting in offers on the deals and then they waive that appraisal contingency. But you want to make sure that your offer and your lender are kind of coherent. You don't want to waive the appraisal contingency on your offer if your lender requires it. This gets you to the 8 questions to ask your hard money lenders as you go about interviewing them. I think you should always be interviewing them. Just there's so many out there, especially as you go and look to do deals. I mean, I talked to a hard money lender who's like, oh yeah, we'll do 100,000 at 12% and 4 points. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I think that's not good. It's not a good deal. 4 points is high to originate the loan, and then 12% is also very high on the interest side. Like there's hard money lenders out there that will do 2 points and 9%. And maybe after certain levels of experience and certain dollar amounts, you probably find hard money lenders that do 1%, 1% to originate the loan. Just be aware those fees are brutal. They'll charge you points up front. They'll charge you doc fees. They'll charge you origination fees, and then they'll charge you draw fees. I mean, there's just a ton of fees. So getting that transparency up front so that you can analyze the deal effectively, you can talk to your investors and explain, again, the transparency that you're getting from your hard money lender. There are very good hard money lenders out there, smooth people, transparent, honest people. And there's some that, you probably could stay away from. If you're really interested in what a conversation is like with a hard money lender, then I'm going to set up a link, and that way you can actually see for yourself and hear for yourself what a conversation with a hard money lender is like. This was one of my first conversations that I wanted to get recorded after I went through all the issues that I went through. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. Share it with somebody else who could be using these 8 questions. And the way you get access to my 17 questions to hard money lenders is send me a DM and follow on Instagram. Tell me that you've shared this with at least one other person, and I will send you my sheet of questions to hard money lenders. It sounds like a big ask, but let's see if you're up for the challenge. Good luck, guys. We'll see you next time.